Dennis de Vries, KPMG, you saw him already this morning, and Shujohn Ahmed from Cegeka, the implementation partner. Our next talk is going to be about an issue that in the Netherlands particularly has been an incredibly burning issue for everybody who has people with special care in their environment. It's called PGB, and it's basically what we call sort of the government aid package. We call it the rucksack that you would get for your family to buy help. You can buy and choose help yourself is the idea. It has been less than ideal in its execution, and at the same time it's one of the great benefits of our very nice society that we're able to do those things. And on the other hand, there's also a lot of unease with the care workers, and I know this firsthand from my sister who runs a big practice, is that they spend more time on their admin than on the work that they chose they wanted to do, which is taking care of people. But KPMG has found a solution.
Oh, thanks for the introduction, Connie. Well, I was talking about this use case tomorrow already. So the context here is important to understand, right? So last year we participated in the Dutch government blockchain pilots. What I'm going to show you is the end product of these Dutch government pilots. It's basically our vision on how, our view on how blockchain inspiration could change the PGB process, which is synonym for one of the most cumbersome processes in the Netherlands. The second phase is that together with Cegeka we actually developed a prototype for this vision, and the third phase is that we're now applying with a new city for innovation subsidy. So we're going to do that next week, so we're going to take the next stage in the second half of this year. So we're talking to politicians here, right? And blockchain tends to be a pretty complicated topic, so what we did is actually transform our vision into a cartoon. To keep this really simple, as Connie already mentioned, right, the PGB budget is basically an alternative for healthcare in kind. I understand is the correct phrasing, right? But you know, although we have a very negative association with PGB, basically it's a great tool. Normally, a PGB budget should reduce the amount of healthcare costs considerably because a person is taking care of his own action, not doing expensive surgeons or doctors or whatever. You're organizing your own healthcare. So it's a good tool. It's just not organized very well. One of the problems there is that there's 4 different versions of a PGB budget, and there's about 400 different institutions that are able to grant you a PGB budget. And each one of those has different policies. Well, you know, as blockchainers, we immediately see the link with the potential of smart contracts, right? If the institutions that actually provide the healthcare budget would do that in a smart contract template, and the budget holder would actually apply within that smart contract, that would be a great solution. So obviously what we would need is allocation of healthcare activities to a specific party who's going to perform the healthcare. So we need some kind of register where this is not a medical person's record, but this could be your aunt or your neighbor or whatever, but we need to register who we're going to contract for this specific activity. Then in our vision, of course, we need a log of the transactions that are occurring. And basically, we simplified this by generating transactions with a touch on the smartphone to create a log of actual execution of the healthcare. And then, of course, the idea would be that all parties in the value chain, except of the very bureaucratic process that's currently in place, we would basically have a real-time insight through a shared ledger on how much budget have I spent as an individual budget holder, how many hours can I still work as a healthcare provider, but also from a municipality level, how much budget do I have to spend for the year, and how much did I spend already. So that's pretty much the vision, and I think we're going to move to the demo.
Yep, thank you. So everybody interested to see the demo? Okay. Can we play the demo? So basically I'm going to show you what, can you pause this? What Dennis told, how this is now basically built in the application we built. So what you see here are 3 parties, the budget holder, the care worker, and the municipality. And we have put down 6 activities, which now will run through the blockchain environment. So where you have a care contract, which is created by the budget holder, and where the care worker approves the contract, and then the care plan, how it is created and put on the blockchain, and the care plan approval. And then you can also, what Dennis was also referring to, the limits that you can see, can I increase the budget or downsize it, and what kind of healthcare budgets can I grant a budget holder. And then there is a part with the XML creation where the file can be sent to the SWB bank to pay out the budget to the budget holder. Okay, can you run the rest of the video? Yeah. So here you will see how the budget, the contract is created. So here, the smart contract will check what are the limits, etc., which can be, which needs to be applied. And here is how it will work when the contract is approved. And here you'll see the screens for the creation of the plan. So there are a lot of fields to fill in. So, but we made one of the. Okay. So you will also it's built in like you have if you have passed certain limits, you will get notifications as well. Yeah, these are the screens for the adjustment of the contract and what is a maximum allowed you want to grant to the budget holder. And this is the creation screen of the XML file, which is sent to the SWB bank. It's an example of it. So this is the creation we did together. KPMG came to us with the idea that we could create a solution on a blockchain, and we basically built this thing. And this, what you just saw, was our MVP, how we think this could be solved. So in that way, you are now really, this application will help with all the administrative burden which is right now there, that you can relieve it, and also automate the document flow. And in that way, you are also, where possible, you automate the reconciliation process as well. Okay, that was it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
At the end of your presentation, we saw a question popping up, because I do think that, come and join us for a bit. Can I have this question back? Yes, that is that's the next one. You voted on it. We start with this one. Here, this was a question I sort of really worried about. I thought, well, who benefits the most? And then the choice you had was, obviously, is it the government, because they have reduced admin? Is it the patient, easier access to money? Or is it the care worker? And I'm actually slightly surprised by the outcome. What do you take from this, then?
Well, basically, this whole project started from the position of two civilian officers of the city of Amsterdam who are intensely frustrated with what they call dwangarbeid.
Yeah, well, it almost is slave labor. Slave labor, yeah.
So I think the real focus here is reducing admin for the patient, but I think we can reduce admin all over the chain. So I think equally the government would be a big beneficiary, and even the healthcare worker.
Yeah.
It's reduced admin. Focus on what you're really here for.
So the initiator here has the main benefit, but I do think if you would, it'd be interesting, because is this live? Are you rolling it out?
So now we're entering the third phase, where we're actually going to do a feasibility study with actual parameters in a certain area in Groningen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
In Groningen.
In Groningen?
In Groningen.
And is this because we want to do something nice for the people in Groningen for once?
Yeah, basically.
Probably.
Groningen organized the blockchain hackathon. They are very innovative there.
Yeah.
And we have a wethouder. What on earth is a wethouder?
Yeah.
We have a public official who's very frustrated with how PGB currently works, and submitted that to Dutch Parliament a couple of times already. So it's a great area to...
But it'd be really fun. So shall we just agree that next year you come back, and then by then you've also interviewed the care workers?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay,
Thank you so much. And can we briefly go back, is that possible with our system, to the question that you had, which was all about who pays the price, and what is the price for medical prediction? Explain your question, because you put it to me.
Okay, so as I said, the idea that on this Morpheo platform we are selling predictions about pathologies, and the big question is how much should the people pay for this, and what is the mechanism to regulate it. So the easy answer would be to say, well, let's put it on the market, and it's going to be regulated by the value
commercial
of
enterprise.
Or simply by the cryptocurrency, the Slipcoin itself. How much does it worth? So we see that 15% are really truly believe in the Bitcoin or in the crypto monies to regulate medical prices.
Yeah.
Then we have two big shares. One is more like about mathematically regulating it. Should we say it's to the dollar and it costs this amount? And the second is, should we have more like a political regulation where we engage in conversations with institutions? And we see that actually most people hesitate between the two, and I kind of agree with this.
And does this surprise you? Because I'm sure you've asked the question before.
Well, actually,
is this a different audience because they're all blockchain enthusiasts?
Yeah, exactly. That's so the 15% don't exist in real life. Sorry, guys. Usually people are really, and I guess to be honest, that there will be a mix between the two last solutions in the end. And obviously the point here is to say we cannot necessarily translate healthcare questions directly to the blockchain world. There needs to be kind of mitigation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Round of applause.